Why is this orange? Why am I in Oompa Loompa? Hi guys, welcome back to the Clean Beauty Code. I'm so excited for this video because we are doing a brand review. We're talking about a new foundation, we're talking about a primer, and we're talking about EXA Beauty. So excited to do this review because I've gotten so many questions about this brand. And I'm finally tested it out, got the primer, tested it all out, have my opinions and my thoughts. I have like how I compare it to other foundations I've talked about on this channel, and I'm so freaking excited. I kind of just want to jump in and get started because we got a lot to do. So I'm going to try it on, do my face. We're going to compare it to other foundations that I love, and how it compares to that, even talk about the shade range, all that. So if you're excited for this video and more videos like this, then please like and subscribe. Also leave a comment down below on what other videos you want to see, other brands you want to see, all of that. Leave a comment down below so I know what you guys want to see on this channel. And without further ado, let's get into this EXA Beauty foundation review. All right, you guys, let's get into it. So foundation and primer, I have them here. And in the foundation, I have the shade Rebecca 270. And this is the primer. So I'm going to start off with the primer, and this is called the Jump Start Smoothing Primer. So I'm going to apply everything to my face, and then we're going to do like a full breakdown towards, you know, kind of a little bit more towards the end. Not end, but once I'm done applying my makeup, we're going to do a full breakdown. I find like that's how I kind of don't forget the information that I have. You can see I do have some hyperpigmentation here. It was really, really bad like a month ago, and it's so much lighter. I have a lot of products that I've been using, but I have one in particular that has like changed my life, and I can't wait to share it with you guys, especially, I mean, if you suffer from hyperpigmentation, it's the worst. So I'm taking about this much of the foundation, and I'm just going to, that wasn't even really a full pump, and I'm just going to, if you want to see like shade match wise, you can kind of see what that looks like before I smooth it out. And you can apply this with a brush or fingers, whatever it is that you want. And this is definitely like a buildable foundation, but I would say it is kind of medium. It can go on definitely a lot more light. So it can go light to medium, I would say, in terms of buildability. Now you can apply this light, or you can apply this kind of buildable to medium coverage. So I feel like that's a really good shade match for me. And I'm gonna kind of just go on with the rest of my face now. Have a little bit still showing. I usually use I'm using the Merit Beauty Foundation Concealer Stick. The shade I'm using is Buff, and I usually go on with the IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe number 7 brush, but I did want to show what this kind of looked like. It does a pretty good job at covering for sure, and if you use a brush, it's even more coverage, but I'm very happy with how my skin looks right now. So we're going to kind of move on to the rest of the face. I'm not going to talk too much. I'm just going to kind of apply so we can get to the review. And everything that I use, I'm going to link down below in case I don't kind of like mention it. Bronzer, Ilia bronzer in the shade Novelty, and I'm just going to kind of dab it on. That is the bronzer done. I'm applying the Ilia concealer in Chai. Okay, I'm happy with that. I don't feel like I need too much coverage today, even though I really didn't sleep well last night, but I'm just gonna kind of let it roll for now. Okay, next, I'm gonna go on and I'm gonna do cheeks. Now I have a couple cheek products that I want to possibly use. So I have the LYS Beauty cream blush, and this is in the shade Confident. I really like this. I have used this on camera before. This is a very pretty pink. And then I also have the Merit Beauty foundation stick, and this is in the shade Beverly Hills. I think I'm actually going to apply this one today. And I'm just going to take my Sephora 93 brush. Again, any brushes and stuff I use, if I can find them, I'm going to link them down below. And I'm going to take this, I just touch the top, and then I'm going to apply it to my cheeks. So that is that done. Now I'm gonna take this brush here and I'm just gonna kind of go around the edges of where I applied the blush to kind of just make sure the edges aren't too harsh. Okay, happy with that. I'm gonna take the Minori highlighter. This is the shade Champagne, and I'm gonna just dip my finger in and apply it. I would say this is a very like daytime friendly highlighter if you don't like a lot of highlighter. There are a lot of geese outside my window right now. So I'm going to also take this bronzer and I'm going to take a crease brush and just kind of apply it to my crease. Okay. And I'm happy with how that is looking right now. Okay, next I'm going to apply a little bit of this Sephora palette. I'm not going to do too much. I'm going to take a little bit of this middle color here and apply it to my lid. I'm going to go on Control, and then I'm going to go on with this darker shade, and I'm going to kind of stamp it here. Okay, next I'm actually going to take my bronzer again and put it a little bit on my lower lash line. So then I'm also going to take the dark shade that I used and take the same brush. This is just like a little buffing kind of brush, and I'm going to, on the outer corners, just apply. Okay, next we're gonna go on, I have a couple eyeliners here. I have this and I have this. So this is the Credo Beauty. I did a whole review on this brand eyeliner. I have the black here. I also have the brown of this, and then I also have the black and brown of the Victoria Beckham Beauty. You know, I think I'm gonna do the Victoria Beckham Beauty one, and I'm gonna do the brown, and I'm going to take it and just okay, so that's that. I'm gonna go on with mascara, and then we're gonna do lips. So this is the Credo Beauty mascara. I've been obsessing over this. Again, I have a whole Credo Beauty review, so I'm gonna link that down below or on the screen, something like that. But I'm very impressed with how long this mascara lasts. How good that mascara is though, like, girl. So good. I feel like I do want a little inner corner highlight, so I'm going to go in with this shade right here on my pinky and just apply it right in the inner corner. I like it. I'm really into it. So then next I'm going to go on and, ooh, what type of lip look do I want today? Okay, we're going to go nude. So I'm going to take a Victoria Beckham 05. And then I'm actually going to take Kosas Vegas, which is, if you've watched any video of mine, some of my favorite lipstick of all time. So this is the finished look. I hope it went by pretty quick. I'm gonna like fast forward through a ton of it. But yeah, this is the finished makeup look with the EXA Beauty foundation. Now let's talk about it. So again, these are the EXA Beauty. This is the primer and this is the foundation. So the primer says it's a smoothing primer. I definitely feel like it smooths over the face, and if, this is my phone mine, and if there's any kind of texture or any kind of like drying, where my hyperpigmentation is, I do get a good amount of drying and smoothing over. It just smooths over, which is really nice, so I don't have to worry about clinging. I've tested it out with other foundations. I really do like this a lot. It definitely makes my foundation last longer. My preference is like dewy, youthful looking skin. You can still have that, but it's not so dewy where by the end of the day, I'm like a greasy pool of a disaster, if that makes sense. It's kind of like the best of all worlds. I feel like it definitely extends the wear of my foundations. A little bit of this goes a long way. I do find if I over apply it, which like in general, it depends on the size of your face, but I would take like a little, I don't do like a full pump. I kind of do a little bit, apply, and then if I need more, I can always apply more because it doesn't like set down really, really fast. So you can still apply more. This is really, really good. I like this a lot. I'm actually very impressed. For me, liking a primer that isn't one that's like a gripping primer is pretty rare. So this is really good. I do enjoy it, and I would definitely recommend checking it out. And it says it has triple antioxidant blend in it, a triple antioxidant blend. I don't really know what that means, but I do like it, and I do feel like my skin looks good when I wear it. So that's really all you need from a primer, right? Okay, then we have the foundation. So again, this is, what is this called? The High Fidelity Semi Satin Foundation. And it says it's charged with anti-pollution stuff. I don't really know how to prove that or make commentary on that, but I will say I really am surprised with this foundation. So I would definitely say like a semi satin finish. If you look at my skin, I would say it's more satin than semi satin on me, but again, everything kind of wears differently on everyone's skin in terms of how it looks. But for me, I feel like where my dryness is, it doesn't cling. It gives me that youthful look to my face, but it's not super dewy like other products that I love. I do find that this also lasts me all day. I've tried it with the primer, without the primer, and with other primers. No matter what, I have really good wear with this. It does wear longer when I wear the primer with it and when I wear other primers with it, but I do find even when I don't wear primer, like when I take my makeup off at the end of the day and I kind of take a cotton swab and kind of micellar water my face, there's a good amount that comes off on the like cotton thing when I have no primer on. And I think that's pretty impressive because a lot of the time, not always, but a lot of the time, I find with specifically foundations that are more of that aren't like a thicker texture, sometimes, because this one isn't, sometimes by the end of the day I'm like gone. It doesn't wear off patchy. That's very important. So I'm going to put a little bit on the back of my hand just so you can see the texture. And then I have other foundations that I want to compare it to. So this is what it looks like. It's not super drippy. It's not thick. I have other foundations that I've tried that are more on the thick side. I would say that this kind of wears more like a serum foundation. And if you're new to this channel, so I love serum foundations. So my favorite foundation, and it's been my favorite for years, is the Ilia Serum Foundation. Now this is the shade Maraca in this, and I would say that, just do side by side, they are similar but not perfect. I would say that the EXA Beauty one is warmer, definitely, but it still looks good on my face. These both are beautiful on me. I would say the consistency of them is similar. That is really, I mean, I love a serum foundation. It just looks so good and it looks like skin. That's what I like. The EXA Beauty is definitely like a really good match. Like I really like how my skin looks. I feel like it looks very seamless, very pretty. Again, it's more on the warm side. Now there is the LYS Beauty Serum Foundation. Now, this one is on the thicker side in terms of, not thicker side, it is thicker than the other two, which are very similar, but it's not thick, if that makes sense. This one I find wears really well with this primer. I just have to say the primers, like this primer wears beautifully with all three. And in general, I always assume the primer is going to wear well with the foundation, but I don't always assume the primer is going to wear well with other foundations. This one works really well with all of the foundations that I have in my collection, clean or conventional, and I'm very impressed by that. So the LYS Beauty Foundation, if you've seen that review, you know that I love this foundation. I think that it is so good. It just, again, it doesn't cling to dry patches, which neither does the EXA Beauty one. I feel like the EXA Beauty one would be really good on mature skin, young skin. It kind of has the gamut there, right? Like it feels like would give you what you want no matter kind of where you are in your skin stage. I feel like it works well. Sometimes I get eczema patches and I definitely have dryness from my hyperpigmentation. It doesn't cling. That's a miracle from everything, because nothing is worse than clinging to dry patches. It doesn't cling. It wears well with other products. As you can see, it works really well with creams. It works well with powders. But I digress. I was talking about the LYS Beauty Foundation. I really like this LYS Beauty Foundation. I feel like it wears beautifully. And I would say that the EXA Beauty just is like right there with my favorite foundation. Like, I'm so impressed by it. And I'm really impressed by the shade range. I think the shade range is like 43 shades or something crazy, which I love because you know what? I like saw a comment one day on something recently where someone was saying that they feel like brands are just doing the large shade range to do it because Fenty did it first, and Fenty might have been the example 100%. Actually, I would say Cover FX kind of led with like the large shade range, but Fenty Beauty definitely came out swinging. But also, undertones are different on everyone. So in every shade category, there needs to be multiple undertones. Like you can't just have one shade per category, especially for dark skin. Like dark skin can be neutral, it can be more yellow undertone, it can be more on the red side, it can be more on the olive side. And it's just like you need to have options. And if you don't have those options, you're just alienating an entire section of the shade range. And it's just, and you know what, and for light shades too, like sometimes shades are just like aren't light enough, and I just think that's also shenanigans. Like there needs to be options, and this shade range has options, and I really like that. This doesn't, again, cling to dry patches. It would work on mature skin. I feel like it would work on really young skin. I feel like because of how it's buildable, because it's light, can be light or it can be medium, you can definitely build it up. It plays well with other products, it plays well with powders, it plays well with creams. It doesn't ball up. I don't have issues with like balling up. I don't have issues with when I apply powder or cream that I'm picking up the product underneath. Of course, sometimes it depends on what you're putting on top as opposed to the product underneath if you're gonna have an issue with like picking product up, but I have not had that experience yet with any of my powders, with any of my cream products that I put on top, any liquids. Really good, plays well with a bunch of different products, wears beautifully all day, shade range, really good, very impressed. I would like to see more options in shade ranges in complexion products across the board. Like it just feels like they throw a couple, sometimes brands just throw shades at you and you're just like, did you even try? Why is this orange? Why am I an Oompa Loompa? Okay, like it's just not great. This is a really good shade range. I really like it. And again, the primer is really good. And yeah, that is it for my EXA Beauty foundation review, my EXA Beauty primer review. I would love to know, have you tried EXA Beauty? If you have, what are your thoughts? If you haven't, do you think you're gonna try it after watching this video? I talked a lot. I tried to not talk a lot, but I know I rambled on. And yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and please leave a comment down below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.